the Bay of Firth in the remote Scottish archipelago of Orkney, I've joined geophysicist Richard Bates and archaeologist Caroline Wickham-Jones on a potentially groundbreaking diving expedition to explore an ancient underwater feature that may be the original inspiration for sites like Stonehenge.
The boat just down here on the left, Josh.
Yeah. Today, Caroline and Richard have enlisted the help of Teledyne Blueview, a company that's developed pioneering underwater sonar technology, often used on deep-sea shipwrecks. I'm hoping our boat isn't their next project. After gearing up, we venture out to sea, and Richard tells me we've got a bit of a ride ahead of us. The farther out we get, the more the weather starts to clear, and Caroline gives me the lay of the land as it was over 5,000 years ago, when the receding glaciers of the last ice age would have given the North Sea a much different look.
What you have to do is strip the water away, get your mind's eye back 5,000 to 6,000 years. Would have been a gentle valley. The sea would have been somewhere in that direction.
This would have been dry.
This would have been dry.
Richard tells me that over the years, divers have explored these waters. Just a few years ago, one finding in particular really grabbed his and Carolyn's attention, for reasons I'm about to understand.
Okay, Josh, we're coming up on the site now in the middle of the bay here. We're going to get a high-resolution sonar image of what's on the bottom.
All right, great. Let's see it.
Okay, off you go.
Our first move is to break out Teledyne's boat-mounted sonar imaging scanner to get an initial overview of the site. Some assembly is required. But once we've got it all rigged up, it's an impressive piece of kit.
Sonar generates high-resolution 3D point clouds, so we're hoping to get some very good details of the area of interest.
We should see individual stones.
Awesome. The scanner is able to stitch together 3D sonar scans in real time, creating an image of the site from above. But first, we'll need to generate the data by taking the boat back and forth, Zamboni style.
We are following where we are actually sending these sonar signals onto the seafloor.
Right.
So each little dot on there is a real reflection from the seafloor.
Got it. As we navigate back and forth over the site, the computer begins stitching together the data. Before long, something unusual starts to take shape. So no question there's a feature down there.
There's a definite step in the landscape here.
That's fabulous. It's really clear.
Look at that. Look at the curve there.
It's circular.
That's not ordinary.
So am I to understand that this is a monument? Is this a henge?
Well, that's the million-dollar question.
If Caroline and Richard can prove that people made or even modified this site, it would mean that this is the earliest man-made henge and stone circle monument ever found. Perhaps the inspiration for all others that followed.
The only way for us to continue studying that is to get in the water.
John's brought another scanning setup to document the site in even richer detail. But first, we'll need to squeeze into specialty diving suits capable of keeping us alive in freezing water.
I feel like I look like the Michelin Man and Richard looks like James Bond.
We drop the anchor in to mark the spot. And then, bombs away.
Okay, what's the plan now? Grab the sonar unit, bring it down here. We can get even more resolution.
We have the surface team lower the sonar unit to the ocean floor, and we prepare for a hyper-detailed scan of the site.
Okay, tripod's in position. Give us a 360 scan.
Okay, we're starting to scan.
John, my head is about 2 feet from this thing. Is that going to be a problem?
It's not recommended, but it is safe.
Richard and I swim out of the way to let the scanner do its job.
So as the sonar scans around, it will build up the 3D point cloud of that area.
It only takes minutes for the machine to collect millions of data points, rendering an image in real time.
So the scan is completed now.
Okay. That's amazing, guys. There's fabulous detail, just even so quickly. That's just incredible.
What do we got?
How cool is that?
Hey, it worked.
The combined scans from above and below have come through crystal clear. giving Caroline and Richard the most accurate model yet of the mysterious underwater feature.
You can really see the pattern of it, really.
Absolutely, it is. It's that very distinct outer part of the circle. The oldest henges, they occur in Orkney. Well, they have to be inspired by something. Our work here tells us that they would have seen this on a land surface.
The formation we saw underwater, so reminiscent of the banks and ditches of Stonehenge and Stennis, may in fact have been the reason for their existence, as the people migrating south sought to emulate the site here.
Teledyne Marine. Everywhere you look.